the shadows of centuries-old forests, where the darkness of night seems to merge with the gloom of antiquity, lies a village of forgotten shadows. For centuries, the villagers have lived in harmony with nature, worshiping the old gods and honoring ancient customs. But one ominous night, when the moon was hidden behind the clouds and the shadows were alive, sinister spirits entered the village. At first, no one noticed the change, but soon strange occurrences began to happen in the village. The villagers heard whispering, ominous voices, saw shadows gliding through the streets at night. At first, it seemed innocent, but as the days passed, the village fell into darkness. People began to disappear. At night, their houses were filled with an ominous light, and the trail faded into darkness. Those who remained spoke of strange visions, of ghosts of the past flickering among the shadows. The local priests tried to ward off the evil spirits, but their prayers echoed in the void. A mysterious wanderer, mangled by time, with eyes full of knowledge and secrets, appeared among the villagers. His name was known only as Varg. He claimed that the village held an ancient secret and that only he could unravel it. With Varg at the head of a small group of brave villagers, they set out on a quest to exorcise sinister spirits. Night after night, they explored the houses, following the flickering lights and ghosts of the past. During their journey, they discovered that the village was built on the site of an old temple, where ancient rituals were once performed. In the depths of a forgotten temple, Varg and his companions faced a powerful spirit of the past, tainted by evil. To defeat it, they had to uncover ancient secrets, pass through trials, and face the ghosts of their past. Each discovery led them to the realization that only by uniting and coming to terms with the past could they free their village. A mystical battle between light and darkness unfolded in the heart of the forgotten shadows. At their decisive moment, the spirits, freed from their sinister influence, melted away like smoke. Dawn awakened the village, shrouded in age-old legends, back to life. Varg vanished as mysteriously as he had appeared, leaving behind only legend. The village remained with its secrets, but now that the sinister spirits had left it, it shone with the light of new hope and renewed spirit. Despite defeating the sinister spirits, the village of forgotten shadows could not escape the shadows of its past. Fear remained in the hearts of the villagers like a dark shadow that left its mark. Nightmares haunted them as they tried to sleep, reminding them of the darkness that enveloped the village during those ominous days. People dreaded the twilight, fearing that in every shadow lurked a new threat. Children dared not play in the dark, and adults avoided secluded places where the shadows seemed especially thick. The air was soaked with the smell of fear, and even the lightest whisper of wind sent shivers down my spine. In these trying times, Varg had returned, his eyes still as enigmatic, but now they reflected not only knowledge but compassion. He realized that fear was as firmly embedded in the villagers as roots in the ground. Determined to investigate the roots of this fear, Varg led a group of brave men into the darkest corners of the village. During their investigation, they uncovered old scrolls and relics stored in forgotten vaults. They revealed stories of ancient battles and otherworldly forces that had left their mark on the village. Varg found the place where sinister spirits had first infiltrated the world of the living, and there, in a forgotten temple, a new mystery was revealed. The fear that gripped the village was the result of a restless spirit left captive to its own fears and torments. This spirit had been buried here many centuries ago after an ancient battle with dark forces. Varg, with the help of his knowledge and skills, decided to reunite the spirit with its forgotten past, allowing it to find peace. The battle with fear was difficult, but along with the village heroes, Varg freed his spirit from the shackles of fear, and the light returned to his eyes. In that moment, the darkness dissipated and the fear that had gripped the village began to slowly fade away. With the spirit now freed from fear, the village of forgotten shadows began to heal. The sinister spirits disappeared completely, and the inhabitants slowly forgot the nightmare that had engulfed their existence. Varg, having done his work, disappeared again into the shadows of the forests, leaving behind only the legend of how the forces of light and darkness merged into one to overcome fear and restore the village to its tranquility. As time passed, the village of forgotten shadows was transformed. Instead of the fear that had long held it captive, the village had an aura of hope and rebirth. The inhabitants learned to appreciate every moment of their lives, embracing the bright future that lay ahead of them. The legend of Varga and the brave heroes remained alive in the hearts of the people. Sometimes, as the moon rose high in the night sky, the elders would gather around the fire, telling the story of how the power of unity and reconciliation overcame the darkest shadows. A village that seemed lost became the epitome of how even in the hardest of times, new life can be found, though there were still places in the forests where shadows could come alive again. The people of Forgotten Shadows knew that their strength lay in confronting the darkness and transforming it into light, and so ended their story, a story that has remained in the memory of posterity as a lesson that strength of spirit can overcome the darkest of trials. And the village of Forgotten Shadows continued its quiet existence, no longer just a place, but a symbol of hope, recovery, and victory over fear.